Okay, Tricia, we need to talk about Trump. I don't want
Can't
to,
avoid it.
but yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's 6 years. I mean, 6 months. It feels like 6 years, but it's only 6 months that Trump has been president. Let's look at what's happened. And just for fun, let's start with the good things that have come out of his 6 months. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Trump gets a lot of bad press, especially in the international news, but actually he has achieved quite a bit in his first 6 months. And I
Okay.
think he has done what he set out to do, which was change the status quo of Washington. He wants to change the way things are there and the way things have been done. He wants something new.
Yeah, okay, definitely new things happening in Washington, D.C. Yeah, and I would say even people who don't like Trump, they have to admit that he's bringing together a lot of different groups who are against him, and they're working together for the first time. So, in a way, that's good too. And if Hillary Clinton were president right now, those groups would still be really separate and maybe even fighting against each other. But right now, they're united.
True. I think he has also followed his promise to make America great again.
Really?
Now, it's not quite certain what he means by great
Right.
again, but I think what
Right.
he wants is that America will be independent again. So America will be independent from other countries, from other trade agreements.
Right.
He
From
has
the
removed the
Paris
US,
Agreement.
the Paris Agreement exactly, and also from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which actually a
Right.
lot of European countries are trying to remove themselves from as well.
Yeah, we'll see if that's more good than bad. But a lot of people on the left too don't like those kind of trade agreements. They are very nice to big corporations, big businesses, and maybe not so good for the people of those countries. At least in like the near future. Maybe in the long like distant future it could build economies. That's what people say anyway. So yeah, he did get the United States out of those agreements. um, Another thing is there were a lot of problems in the United States that people forgot about, or they didn't want to think still existed, like all of the racism and sexism. And Trump is bringing all of those out into the open, and maybe that's good in a way. It's easier to fight against those things if you can see it, if it has a name, if it's not hiding. Yeah, so maybe that'll actually help. When Obama was president, people really forgot, like, oh, America's great. We've got a black president. Maybe Hillary Clinton will be president. They really forgot that those ideas exist.
Yeah, I think with Obama, there was a lot of secrecy. There was a lot that he didn't say directly to the public, but rather through his aides and through his staff. And with Trump, we have Twitter.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people laugh at his tweets, and a lot of them are quite painful to read at times.
Kofefe.
But he's very transparent.
Yeah, you know
And
what
this
he
is something
thinks.
completely new for a president of the United States.
Yeah, I think a lot of his, his fans, people that voted for Trump, like this direct access that Twitter gives him. He doesn't have to go through the media. He's often fighting with the media, so Twitter gives him this direct line to his supporters, and also to his people who don't like him. He can say mean things about them directly. Yeah.
And you have to admit it's quite entertaining.
Right.
I think many more Americans and people abroad are following the US news now, and they're reading his tweets and trying to understand what's going on in American politics now.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump has been really good for Twitter and for the internet in general. As a community, they have a lot of good material to work with because of his tweets. That's true. Another thing, I think maybe Donald Trump as president is good for the Democratic Party, because now they're starting to think about why Hillary Clinton lost to this type of person, and maybe they'll start listening to other people in the party, people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, who they want a more radical, like a more extreme Democratic Party. So maybe that could be good for the left.
Yeah, and I think he's also good for your average Joe American. And since Trump has taken office, major economic indicators have improved. So the stock market has gone up. Yeah, the NASDAQ and the Dow have gone up. And Trump is removing regulations, especially on small businesses.
Okay, these are the laws that control what businesses can do and can't do.
Exactly. And so a lot of Americans are happy with these changes because it is making their lives easier.
If you have a business, Donald Trump is good for business in the short term, like in the near future. What else? He said he wants to bring jobs back to the United States. That would be great if he can do that. He wants to, a lot of American companies have taken jobs to other countries. So if he can give them lower taxes or do something to make it look a lot nicer to do business in America, that'd be really good. But I don't know if he'll do that. We'll see.
Well, it does seem like he is working towards that. According to what I've read in the Fortune magazine, he has already reduced the cost of regulations by $70 billion.
Okay.
And into the future, he wants to remove 2 regulations for every new regulation created.
I heard that. Yeah, that's... we'll see. What type of regulations? If those are laws to protect consumers and workers, then maybe it's not so good. But for business owners, yeah,
I don't see any information on it here, but I'm guessing that most of them have to do with environmental law.